It's one of the few sporting events that make NFL tickets look cheap. I'll just say that. Next week's game where the U.S. is playing in Santa Clara, the cheapest seat is something like $2,500. And that's in the nosebleed seats where you're watching it on the Jumbotron rather than actually watching the field. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
no, I think I will stay home and watch it on TV. Okay, we're about one shy. So, you I can give it 2 more minutes and then we'll go right away.
Paula, I had a surprise today. I was driving to Mendocino and I get this alert, earthquake.
oh, and
Yeah,
it was up in that neck of the woods.
it was. Yeah, I didn't feel it because I was driving. I was kind of in between Cloverdale and Boonton when I got it, but I was sure afraid because there's a tsunami zone I drive through, and I had no idea what this magnitude, where it was, and I didn't find out for like another 20 minutes. But yeah, but
Yikes.
it was in Ukiah, which I was just over the mountain, on the other side of Ukiah when it happened. But it was actually between closer to Willits, I guess. But there is a mountain range between that and the ocean side. So I didn't feel it.
And no damage to the art collective?
No, nothing because the earthquake was stopped, I guess, by the mountain range. I don't know. I mean, I can't say why, but nothing seemed to be out of any disarray. So, but it was fine. But it sure makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, it does.
Mm.
I got the alert here in Vallejo, but I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I was I was gonna say too, because our phones went off and said warning, warning. And I did ask Glenn later, well, where was the earthquake? And he said Ukiah area. So
yeah, yeah, it was strange because I got that too, and my husband got it in Benicia. So, but it was like take cover,
Duck and cover. Mine sold me to duck and cover, but it
I know.
didn't tell me where.
Well, I was driving by all these big trees. I'm like, should I like try to find a field or something?
Yeah, that's why I tell everyone, and I have make sure that my aunts who I provide care for have a emergency bag, an evacuation plan, and so forth. Because I did the duck and cover. I was telling one of my aunts, she says, "What am I going to do in this hospital bed?" I said, "Let it down and we'll get under the desk,
Try to climb underneath it.
underneath her wheelchair or something." I guess.
Yikes.
Mm.
We're at 7:05, and I did see that we are live streaming. So um, go ahead and call the meeting to order. And thanks everyone for joining us. I did see a guest with us. Um, Sandre, would you like to introduce yourself? Hopefully I'm pronouncing.
Hello, my name is Sandre Henriquez Nelson. I have been a Fairfield resident since our family moved up here when I was in high school in 1990. Um, I will admit I did move away to Yolo County, to Davis, because I didn't want to commute to work. So I was there for 20 years. Um, a little bit about me. I used to run the Fairfield Falcon youth football program here in town. Um, I was a part of their board for probably 10 years in some capacity. I am currently the DEI officer for the Yolo County Democratic Party. I am back in Fairfield helping take care of my dad right now. So we'll be here probably for a couple of years, definitely. Um, what else do I do? I am also the president of the Yolo County Pride Democratic Club. Um,
Hmm.
and I was like, I need to get back into, especially after the big mayor situation. Um, I'm like, I need to get involved in my local politics. And so that's why I am here tonight to start getting back involved in Solano County.
Well, welcome. We have a number of clubs that you may wish to look at. You can find them on our website. And I would just ask if you would kindly drop your name into chat so that our secretary catches the proper spelling and doesn't butcher it when it comes time to type up our notes. And again, welcome. Glad you could join us.
Thank you.
And with that, I don't take a quick look. I don't see any other guests with us this evening. So if we will, Amber, if you want to pull up the land acknowledgement. Okay. We pause to acknowledge that the Solano County Democratic Central Committee of the Democratic Party sits on the land of the Mohawk and Patwin people. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respects to their elders, the Miwok and Patwin people of the past and present. Right. We do believe we have a quorum. So that will move on to approval of the minutes and agenda. First item, the May minutes, I do believe they went out shortly after the last meeting.
They did.
Yeah, I remember you doing that, Paula. So does anyone have any additions, corrections, or deletions to the minutes from last month? Because if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
This is Gian, move to approve the minutes.
Okay.
I second them.
All right, and the motion is second. We will go ahead and launch that poll, please.
Who was the second?
It was me, Pat Toe Smith.
Ah, thank you.
And while people are voting, I do want to pause for a minute and thank Paula for stepping up and stepping in to take our minutes again. And I appreciate her doing double duty tonight. So vote early, vote often. All right, minutes are approved. Thank you. Next we have of the agenda. I know Paula raised something that she wanted us to vote on. It was a EPA petition.
Yeah,
some
from the
sort?
Southern Environmental Law Center. It won't take very long, but I would like to add that to the bottom of the business.
Okay. If you could drop, I think is there a link to the information that you might have, if you could drop that in the chat for people. And then approval of the April minutes. Okay, well, I
I
don't
would
recall.
move to approve the agenda as amended with the data center EPA petition added.
Okay,
I'll second that. Karen.
Karen, got it.
all right. We will vote on that. And then with that, we will, out of an abundance of caution, we'll go back and vote on the April minutes. Don't recall whether they were approved or not, so approve them anyway.
The April minutes?
I am looking at the note from Amber in chat. She says, I believe we need to approve April minutes as well.
I don't think we ever got
I think
April
Kat-
minutes. That's why we didn't vote on them last time.
Okay,
Yeah. I thought it was sent out after the meeting, but maybe not.
yeah, I don't recall either way. Let me do a quick search while people are voting. Yeah, I think the March minutes were sent out twice.
Right.
Looks like, so once in March, once in April, so now we will have to forego those until we have them available. So has everyone voted who is eligible to vote? Right, and again, the agenda is approved as amended. Next item we have is our time for public comment. This is for guests to our meeting. All comments are limited to 2 minutes. Additional time may not be granted, and the total comment period cannot exceed 30 minutes. So if you are a guest and you wish to speak, please raise your hand. Not seeing any hands up on the participants list. Not seeing hands up on my screen. So we'll go ahead and close our public comment and move on to our treasurer's report. So once that's up, take it away.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Don.
So I have the crab feed analysis. I don't know that I have the treasurer's report.
You have a treasurer's report. Let's see.
It did go out because I have a copy of it.
Yeah.
It went out. When did I get
Sunday.
it?
A
think
day
it
or
went
so ago.
Went out Sunday.
Okay, from Karen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might have to dig. I mean, I sent a lot of stuff out. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I think you sent it to
sent it
Don and
out.
Don sent it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
okay.
went out Sunday from me, but says June treasurer's report.
Can someone just forward it to me? Because I did a search. I don't see it.
Okay.
And I pulled up everything I had.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to share, Don, or do you just want me to go ahead with it?
I mean, I can share. I can give Karen a co-host. She can share her own screen. If you want to do that?
I am not.
Oh, let me, if you want to give me co-host, I can pull it up.
I'm not a Luddite, but I'm not too good with trying to manipulate my computer. It's old, so.
Okay, so share treasurer's report.
There we go. Okay. So June 2026, we'll start with the federal account. So on 5/19, we had a beginning balance of $13,819.82. We had dues contribution from Brumfield, $70, Flynn, $35, Hundley, $35. And we did an allocation transfer from our state account of $675.73 for a total credit of $815.73. Moving on to our expenditures, River City Business Services was $503.61. We had Act Blue merchant fees, our bank fees of $5.55, with total debits of $509.36, with an ending balance of on 6/18 of $14,126.19. So I just want to say we don't have the storage unit on this particular bill, and I was going to send an email to Don and to Bridgette Hundley. The reason is they changed the system, they updated their computer system and also their staff. So when it went out, when our invoice went out, it went out to some unknown place, which they couldn't share with me because my name wasn't on the Storage Mart contact information. And I'd only had been in contact with the manager of that for so long, and apparently she must have left, and so they didn't have my name, so I didn't get it. So we'll get another bill next month. In the meantime, Bridgette and I will have to go to the Storage Mart and in person so that they can update their records officially. So just wanted to explain that to you. On the state account, our beginning balance on 5/19 was $6,186.13. We had dues contribution from Penrose for $35, Coke for $35, Scott for $35, and Birdseye for $35. Courage for $35, Hardwick for $10, Brumfield for $5. We had a CRAB contribution from the Napa Solano Labor Council of $1,000. What our total credits were $1,190. And then moving on to our debits, Act Blue merchant fees of $7.55. We had that allocation transfer, I'm sorry, that I talked about, $675.73 that went to our federal account to pay our bills. And so our total debits were $683.28 for the state account, with the state ending balance of $6,692.85. We did, adding both of those together, our federal and state accounts, a total of $20,819.04. So if you have any questions on that, other than what I talked about with the storage account, I'd be happy to answer them. I don't know, Don, do you want me to go over the crab feed analysis?
If you would like to, and Amber, do you have that available to pull up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there's two reports of crab feed analysis, and then to follow up the final, the crab feed expenditures. Okay, so on the crab feed analysis, we had sponsors and checks from the Northern Solano Dems. You can see $1,000, Rio Vista Democrats for $500, Progressive Dems of Benicia for $2,000, United Dems of Vallejo, $1,000, California Teacher Association, $1,000, 1201 SEIU Healthcare Workers for $1,000, Cassandra James for County Supervisor for $1,000, Frederick Wright, $160, Christopher Cabalden, our state senator, for $1,000, Lori Wilson, Assemblywoman, $1,000, Congressman John Garamendi for $1,000, Congressman Mike Thompson for $500, Jeanette Wiley, Councilwoman of Vacaville, for $250, Wanda Williams, Solano County Supervisor, $250, Mike Silva, Councilman of Vacaville, for $500, 1021 SEIU Labor Council for $1,000, and then Napa Solano Labor Council for $1,000. So we had total sales of $14,160 for our sponsors. And then we had, on top of that, we had federal sales of $2,540 for total sales of $16,700. Sponsorship tickets were approximately 143, with federal ticket sales at 45, gave us total sales of 188 tickets. When we look at our crab feed kiosks, we had the dessert sales at $644, the art auction at $1,527, with our stripe auction at $498. Our beverage kiosk did $907 for a total kiosk sales of $3,576. When we look at our total sales of $16,700 and then our total kiosk sales of $3,576, we came out with a grand sales total of $20,276. And then moving on to the crab feed expenditure finals. When we take a look at our expenditures, we had crab expenditures of $4,885.72. The Mary Pizza Shack at $1,017. Benicia Bottle Emporium, the wine and beer at $872.21. The Jelly Belly Venue, which was $1,840, with a subtotal of $7,397.03. When we look at our reimbursables, we had to reimburse our crab feed committee members who purchased Maggie Colt with the utensils for that, $136.26. Kathy Courage buying the butter, salad dressing, all of those condiments and pop for $291.11. And then I purchased binders, the printed posters that we had to identify each area of the crab feed, name tags, and postage, $181.91 plus $10.48 in postage, for a grand total of $621.76. So we look at our total expenses, which reached $7,397.93. We add to that our reimbursements of $821 and $21.76, with the total expenses being $8,019.69. And then the paid sales was $20,276, with our surplus or slash profit, which we're nonprofit, so it has to be a surplus of $12,256.31. So that's the overview. You might want to take a look at it and study it. I know I sent it out late. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can email me at treasurer@SolanoDemocrats@gmail.com. Any questions now? Or
No, this is Vernell. I just have a comment about the storage because there's a couple of keys that are out. So before you and Bridget go and change names, and because we need to just make sure you communicate things, because we go down there in between times and to get things out of storage, and we share with the Northern Democratic Club. So just want
Okay.
to make sure that the communication is there.
Thank you for that. I'll make sure that I do that. I hadn't planned on changing any locks. I just wanted to make sure that my name was on it so that I indeed get the invoice, since I'm responsible for paying the bills. So,
No, just sometimes they we have problems. I'll
Oh.
talk about myself. I'll
Got it.
have problems with the code getting in.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he'll ask me some questions, and if I don't have the answer, I can't get the code to get in.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for that update. No wonder I couldn't get them to tell me who they sent the invoice to. So anyway, but thanks for the update, and I will keep that in mind and keep you posted.
Bonnie, I see your hands up.
Yeah, just I want to reiterate, I think something I brought up last time was we need to make sure that we have more than one person on every single thing we do. God forbid, Karen, or whoever's has the keys to whatever, or the approval. It doesn't have to be an and signature, but at least an or signature on things that are under our Central Committee. So just a reminder of that.
Makes sense, Bonnie. Thanks.
Yeah, I believe there are a couple, but if I, if I have access, I have no idea what the codes are myself. So I would be in just the same position as to having to see if I could find whatever piece of paper I might have written it on 4 or 5 years ago. So we certainly will want to update that and have that information available to those who need to contact that. So thank you for that, Karen. And
You're welcome.
also want to, again, we've said it in previous months, but thanks to everyone who made this year's Scrapie such a success.
Don, can I say one other thing too?
Yeah.
Additionally, with the storage unit, also with the postal box. The post box is a postal box, the PO box is in Rio Vista. I have 2 keys. And so I can give that key to whoever the club deems should have it. I mean, I can give it to you, Don, if you want, but whoever they deem it, so that if I'm not available out of town, XYZ, someone will have a key to the post office box so they can get it.
It is certainly something we should discuss. Someone who has reasonable level of access to Rio Vista can get there if
Okay.
needed.
Yeah.
Especially as we get closer to election day. All right, and thank you, Paul, for dropping in the details of that email, because I noticed that the link wasn't letting me see it. So
Yeah.
when comes time, we will refer to the items in the chat as well as email I just forwarded out to people. So moving on to other reports, I will simply say congratulations again to our endorsed candidates, Supervisor Wanda Williams, who won re-election outright, and Councilmember Michael Silva, who came in first in his race for Supervisor. Moving on to the thanks to all of you who helped make that happen. We expect that will be Mike's race will be a challenging race, but with all of your help, I'm sure we will pull it through. As long as all of our other elections going up. And whatever you think of whoever your preferred candidate for governor was, I think in some ways we can breathe a sigh of relief that we have one and only one Democrat on the ballot for November. So it's not going to be an expensive blue on blue fight, just antagonizing people for another 5 months. So we can take some solace in that. But we have a lot of other elections to work on. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit. I will also share with you that I attended a training earlier this week. I believe Karen was on the call
Yes.
as well, on bridging the rural-urban divide, with a focus on helping us our more rural counties reach out and win elections, especially in the North State as well as the Central Valley. And there was a billed as a finance compliance training tonight. They covered the same information they've covered every compliance training, so there was nothing new to share there. And then this weekend there will be a conference call with Central Committee chairs, and I would imagine regional directors and caucus chairs with Rusty Hicks. If there's any actual news out of that, I will share it as promptly as I can, but I'm not going to hold my breath. That's about all I have as chair for right now. Northern Vice Chair, anything to report?
No, I'll yield to the second half.
Okay. Let me take a quick look. I don't think I saw Carrie come in. So, Amber, anything to report as information officer?
Not this month.
All right. And Paula, anything wearing a
No.
parliamentarian hat?
No.
Okay. Cool, cool. Moving on to our business, and we have legislation committee. And I know Bonnie sent that report out earlier this evening, but Bonnie, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Lowry. I had sent, we met, reviewed their legislative process and reviewed where our bills are. So that's all up to date. So far, one other bill did not make it, but I think we've got 13 bills that have made it so far that we've already endorsed. So there are, I believe it's 5 bills that the committee unanimously agreed to support and 1 bill to oppose. We talked about the opposed bill last time, and I think we've got a little bit of a clearer idea of that bill. I don't know, Amber, can you give me the ability to share my screen? I think that would be the easiest thing. I can do that.
Done.
Thank you. Let me see here. Just to go over these. I hope you can see those. So there's the 5 bills to support. AB 40 by Mia Bonta, who is the wife of our Attorney General, as the California Environmental Quality Act, Environmental Impact Reports, Coal Handling, Storage, and Export. This is a local issue. This bill would require full environmental review of large-scale coal terminals in California and would prevent approval for any new coal terminals based on what she calls obsolete information. It is passing through, and I would we recommend that we support that bill. Again, this has been a threat to us here in the Bay Area before about coal terminals. So just to keep that in mind, that's one. I'll just go through them all, and if anyone wants to talk specifically about them or ask me at any time. The HART bill, AB 1448, it's a 2-year bill. We wrote a letter last year. It has been amended. I do think it would be helpful to write another letter in support. This bill basically says that there can be no federal use of existing state infrastructure for offshore drilling. This has not been an issue up until this administration, who now proposes that they do offshore drilling outside of California. And so this bill, we can't really affect federal waters, but we can certainly affect our own waters. So that's what this bill is about. Senator Cabaldon did support this bill, just to let you know, recently. So that's a kudos to him. The next bill is AB 1604, Stefani. This is one that we've kind of been watching, but I think it's time to move it to the support category. This is a bill that will ban BPA and receipt paper. All the receipts that we get when we go to the grocery store, it has dust on it that is toxic. And it certainly for people who handle those receipts all day, such as, grocery store workers and so forth, but we handle it as well. So again, it's in Senate appropriations, so it is moving. That's another one. This one, AB 1776 by Aguiar Curry. This is a antitrust bill. This basically would prohibit some monopolies here, which I think is a real issue that we see in things like media and there are other monopolies. So this is kind of it would prohibit anti-competitive efforts in one market. Again, that's another bill to support. SB 1259, again, refineries decommissioning and remediation. This is another local issue with closing refineries, or this asks that refineries have some sort of remediation plan in case they have to decommission or close down, and so on and so forth. So again, unfortunately, our senator did not support this one. Not that he voted against it, he just did not vote. So again, we've got to, it'd be nice if he voted for some of these things. The one we spoke of last time, which would be an opposed position, is, I think it was confusing at the time, the water right permits. But basically, so to try to simplify this, what this does is it gives the ability for certain groups to have more access to water, and it has to do with the Delta Tunnel. Makes it easier as currently proposed. What is it called? The SWP, which is the State Water Project. Water rights would be subject to a completely different set of rules than any other water rights in the state, while others must show good cause to the State Water Board for their rights to be extended. And the department would be allowed to construct and expand its water rights for decades till 2085. So this is unfair for other water users, and moreover jeopardizes the health of our local area, the Bay Delta Estuary. So these are the bills that we propose for to take action on, for Chair Lowry to write letters to the authors, to whatever committee, and also to our elected folks. Any questions about all that? Okay, I don't see anybody jumping up and down.
I don't see any hands either.
I do. I just can't get to my hand in time.
Okay.
What's the purpose behind Calderon introducing that bill? Do you know, Bonnie?
I think I would have to look at where she lives, because it's the Southern California people love it. So I would say that it has more to do with
Trying to
the Bay
take our
Delta,
water.
the Bay Delta Tunnel, that sort of thing.
Got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's not really very environmentally proactive anyway. I mean, she's done quite a few things that have seemed to be kind of contrary to what I would personally want to be seen done. But that's my opinion.
She's an LA County.
Yeah.
Assembly member.
Got it. Thank you.
Karen, through the chair.
I also had a question about that bill, that water rights bill. Do you know if it's AGRA attached to the Central Valley?
I honestly do not know. There is an article that you can buy let me just go to that. Maybe that'll have a little bit more information. Sorry, I got to see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
This is by the Save the Delta. So the Save the Delta,
Okay.
and and the Sierra Club, Solano Group at least, are opposed to this. So I would just say that you can go to this article. I can put it in the chat as well. It's in our form, and kind of, if you want to look at it in a deeper way.
Yeah,
Also, you could definitely contact them if you had more specific questions.
Right.
But again, these are the Delta. It looks like this is the Delta Counties Coalition that wrote this letter of opposition to including Solano County.
Yeah.
So again, just to keep that in mind. So I think it would be in our. I don't think there should be any reason for not supporting it. I mean, for not opposing it.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Bonnie.
So I have so it comes from the committee, so I don't need a second, but it would be nice if we had if we could take it to a vote, if that's agreeable to everyone and to you, Chair.
Does anyone have any objection to a motion to approve the committee's report and then adopt those positions? If not, do we have a poll just to make it official?
Oh, you already did that. Oh, okay. I see the poll. I'm seeing the poll because I'm the co-host. Here, I'll stop sharing.
We'll do vote, please vote. Okay. Give it about another 10 seconds. All right, so the legislative committee's report has been approved. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
All right, next we have awards, event planning. This last month, the date has been changed to August 9th. And I will turn it over to Vernil and Paula to lead the report on the event.
Paula?
Yeah, I think Carrie sent her report out to everybody, didn't she?
Yeah, but
The
you were
whole
going to
committee?
present it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she can't be here tonight. She's got, I think, bocce ball. Oh, Amber, I love you. You're awesome. So it's moved from, originally we thought it might be the Camel Barn in Benicia, but that got prohibitively expensive. So it's going to be on August 9 from noon to 2 in Carrie's backyard. Apparently her very windy backyard, but the price is right. So the budget that she and Vernil came up with totals about $2,100 to cover the cost for everything to get this going, including the cost of the awards, which is, you can see, the most expensive part of it. We will have to rent tables and chairs, and they're going to throw in the wine barrel bar. So that comes up to $2,100. We came up with this pricing system, tickets at $25 each. And you can buy sponsorships for 2, 4, or 8 people for $75, $150, or $300. It is a fundraiser. And I would think maybe the clubs would do that. And so I would ask that the committee approve the $2,100 budgeted cost. Vernil, would you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I would like to add that this is an event where the Central Committee recognized our volunteers, because without our volunteers, we could not exist. We could not raise money or give anything to our candidates and support our candidates. So this is our way of saying thank you and recognizing and acknowledging our volunteers. We have 10 categories in terms of where we recognize. The clubs will give nominations. All the paperwork and the criteria will be going out immediately after this meeting. I believe Don will be sending out to the clubs what the categories are. The deadlines are short because, like I said, this event will take place in August. So please read it. Give us your nominations, and we'll have plaques made up and have a beautiful presentation and a brunch. This event will be a brunch, something different. So we're trying to get a little classy, look like, but anyway, a champagne brunch on August the 9th.
So the
Don?
clubs are gonna need to come up with their nominations at their June meetings. And we will vote on it. Or at their early July meetings, and we'll vote on it at the July Central Committee meeting on the 22nd.
Karen,
Okay, I just wanted to say that I sent out tonight, I sent everybody a bunch of things. I'm sorry, guys, for the swamping, but I sent out the links, the federal link for the August 9th award champagne brunch, and also for the state. So they are available in your mail right now, in your email.
Amber,
I had a question. So I did look at that link, the ticket link, and it says Saturday, August 9th. And when I went to my calendar to put the item in, August 9th is a Sunday. So is
Sunday,
it
yeah.
Saturday, August 9th, or is it 8th, or Sunday, August 9th?
No, it's Sunday, August 9th.
Sunday, August 9th.
And that was probably a typo on my part. So I'll correct it and make sure you have it, right? So
Jeanette.
people won't be confused.
I just wondered if there was a maximum number of tickets, since it's in Carrie's backyard, how many people can we accommodate?
Based on history, we're planning on about 100 people.
Wow, that
And
sounds
she
great.
has enough, and she has enough room for that many. Isn't that what she said at the meeting? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she has a deep yard. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
large backyard
Okay,
on a
so
hill.
that's one thing that, years ago when we had it in Benicia, there were so many people that signed up at the end, we couldn't accommodate. So we just need to make sure, especially if the clubs bring people to, that we know how many people are coming. But that sounds great.
Yeah, so I did send out to the Central Committee the awards criteria and the list of prior nominees before the meeting. Just want to be clear that there's no confusion. We have two different categories of awards. Each club may give an award to the Democrat of the Year, or Democrat of the Decade, or whatever you wish to, however you wish to do it. Based on your own criteria. So you choose, you make that choice. We just ask that you give us the names by the time specified in the email, so we have time to go place those orders. And then the Central Committee will be voting next month on honorees in the various categories listed in the awards criteria sheet. So we ask you to look at those criteria, consider not only fellow Central Committee members or even fellow club members, but any active, hardworking Democrats that you're aware of who work. And some of you who either are elected officials or run campaigns, you might have superstar volunteers that you want to recognize who've helped in your campaigns. Are people who've helped you organize Indivisible rallies, No Kings rallies, Tesla protests, all the fun things that we've been up to in the last, 18 months or so. So about it as you're filling them out. Again, this is for people who are volunteering. So we would not honor Jeanette for being a council member. We'd honor her for getting out and walking for the candidates, for doing all the he's done on behalf of the clubs and all that. So just make that distinction in your own mind as you're looking. If they get paid for it, they don't get an award. Basically. Jeanette, again.
And so this is real important, what Don and Vernil both said, honoring the volunteers. The one issue sometimes in the past, you might nominate someone and no one else really knows them. So you don't have to write a whole bunch of stuff on your nomination, but just kind of be specific about how great they were and how they helped, so that when the other Central Committee members see it who vote, will understand how they were doing a great job, and maybe not just vote for a name that they're familiar with, because it is hard, sometimes bad when there's a really hardworking person and they don't get recognized because no one else knows them. Um, so maybe when we vote next time at the next meeting, you might be able to say one or two things about your nominee. I would suggest that if possible.
Great.
Good.
Thank you for that, Jeanette. Anything else about the event?
Well, I think we need to approve the budget, so I
Yeah,
would
we do
move
need
that
to
we,
approve.
I
Okay.
move that we approve $2,100, up to $2,100.
I second it, Jeanette Wiley.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
It's not seeing any hands. If we have a poll ready to launch. And take it just another couple of minutes, no, couple of seconds rather, to vote.
Did the poll launch? I didn't see it.
It launched,
That ship has sailed.
so. All right. We look to be approved. So thank you, everyone. I do want to encourage you all to go to the link Karen sent out, buy your tickets, encourage your friends to show up, help us honor our volunteers. All right, next item I have is review and potential approval of the endorsement questionnaire. I sent it out a while back. It is basically the same endorsement questionnaire that we've been using the last couple of cycles, with the updating to list the races that are up this fall, and also because of the fact that AB 1392, which was passed last year, now treats all elected officials and candidates, once they become official, as confidential, and their information is removed from the public voter rolls. A question asking people to submit a screenshot of their voter registration as obtainable on the Secretary of State's site so that we can confirm their registration when we consider them for endorsement. But other than that, there are no changes in the questions. I don't know. Does anyone, hopefully you had a chance to look at it. Does anyone have any changes they want to propose or any questions? Because if not, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the updated questionnaire.
Move to approve the updated questionnaire. Gian.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion, or are we ready to go ahead and launch the poll? Okay. Please vote early, vote often. another about 10 seconds or so. Okay, the questionnaire has been approved. And we will be making sure it is posted and all the appropriate information is put out in a timely fashion before the close of the filing period. Before I move on, I did also, along with the questionnaire, I sent out a list of our November races coming up, along with what gossip is saying about potential candidates. And I just want to emphasize that it is gossip. Don't take it as a declaration of candidacy by anyone, because a lot of that is second and third and fourth hand information. So before someone starts complaining that I'm running them for an office that they have no intention of running for. But that said, if you are aware of Democrats who are running, please make sure that they are aware of our endorsement process and encourage them to participate. If you know races where we need to perhaps do nudging to get Democrats to run, let us know for that as well. Encourage them to reach out to us, reach out to Glenn and the Central Labor Council. We want to make sure our good Democrats know how to participate in the process and get endorsements, including our endorsement and our Democratic Club endorsement. So if you are aware of any changes in those races, please let us know, so we can be prepared to defend our candidates and perhaps challenge some of the Republicans who are running. Okay, related to that, scheduling of endorsement meetings. I've already had a number of people ask us when we're doing our endorsements, so I want to have the committee consider and potentially adopt at least tentative endorsement dates. We have traditionally done our endorsements on at least one Saturday after the close of filing in August. Depending on how many races we have, potentially over 40 races, and who knows how many Democratic candidates we have. So right now, just looking at the calendar, I'm suggesting 3 dates that we do a save the date for. The 2 Saturdays, August 22nd and 29th, and then our regular monthly meeting, August 26th. And I'm not saying that we would be saying who's being endorsed at which meeting, but at least we can put those dates out for people to, when they ask, share that information so people begin their planning. So does anyone have any thoughts on that? Comments?
I think our bylaws require that you attend the interview in order to vote on the nomination.
Yeah. And just for that, just to clarify for people, we have the approval is required, all members present and voting. Back in the day when we met in person to do these marathon sessions, and those of you who've been around for a while remember those not so fondly. It was our practice that we would, if someone either showed up late or had to leave early, as long as they were present at some point during the meeting, they could cast their ballot and go on about their day. So in line with that, now that we're meeting on Zoom, we, for the past few cycles, we have sent out our ballots, endorsement ballots, on a Google form, along with a passcode that is put out during the meeting. You must be present at some point during the meeting, even if it's just for 5 minutes. We must be able to pull up the attendance log and say, yes, you were here, and then your ballot will be counted. So as you're planning this, you don't necessarily have to attend the entire session for the endorsements, although as a courtesy to our candidates, it would be nice if we were able to maintain a quorum throughout the day, but at least be present for part of the meeting. Check in and be recognized as present before you vote. And as always, we will require a majority of those present and voting to endorse in any race. We will not be endorsing for more candidates than is in any race. So if you're in a city that has districts, we would endorse one candidate district. If in the city of Benicia, where they'll have 2 council seats up at large, no more than 2 Benicia council candidates would be endorsed. And it should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway, they must be registered Democrats to be endorsed. That's actually an issue in some other central committees, but we are clear that we are endorsing only registered Democrats. So that's our general process for that. And wanted to get the heads up so that we could put out those tentative dates now that people have started asking. So unless there's any discussion or objection, I'd entertain a motion to approve those dates.
This is Gian. I move to approve the dates as stated.
Okay. Do we have a second for that?
I'll second it.
All right, Karen seconded. If we have a poll ready, please launch the poll. Again, vote early, vote often, vote left. And Mondami approves this schedule, so. All right, give it about another 10 seconds. And looks like it's approved. So thank you, everyone. We can add that to our announcements when we put up the information about our questionnaire. Next item I had was a resolution requesting adoption of non-cooperation with ICE policy, but Paula, you shared some information that this might not be necessary. You want to go ahead and just cover that briefly?
Yeah, so the state passed legislation back in 2017 that prohibits local law enforcement from assisting ICE. I don't have the bill number in front of me, but yeah, so I don't think we need to do a county resolution because it's already covered by the state.
Okay. All right, with that information, does anyone wish to pursue discussion of this, or are we ready to move on to our next item on the agenda? Not seeing any hands. So going once, going twice, sold. Next up, resolutions commemorating Pride Month and Juneteenth. My apologies to everyone. It was about halfway through June when I realized that we did not put these items on our May agenda as we usually do. So I have sent out for your review draft language to approve resolutions. It's essentially the same language we've used in previous years for both recognizing Pride Month and recognizing Juneteenth. And put us on record with the stance that we have historically taken over the last few years in support of both of those celebrations, commemorations. And if there's any discussion on the language, any changes people wish to make, please bring them up. We can discuss. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve one or both of those proclamations.
Preferably one.
You cut out, Amber.
Amber?
Oh.
I couldn't hear you, Amber. I apologize.
I said preferably one at a time. That's how
Okay.
I have polls.
All right. Well, I will ask for a motion to adopt the Pride Month proclamation then.
This is Gian, move to approve the Pride Month proclamation.
All right.
Wiley, second.
Thank you, and thank you, Gian, for being the mover of record for so many of our actions tonight.
The mover and shaker.
So, all right, we can go ahead and launch that poll. Now, I will just say I applaud the Vacaville People's Forum for managing to always find the hottest weekend in June to hold their events. They have great talent in doing that somehow. But it was a well-attended event, and I'm very glad that this wasn't quite the objections that we've had in past years from certain members of our Vacaville city government. Okay, again, please vote, get your votes in. All right, and that passes unanimously. Then I will also entertain a commemorating Juneteenth.
This is Gian, move to commemorate the Pride.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Freeman, second.
All right. Motion and second. And we'll launch that poll. And we'll just editorialize on as we adopt this proclamation. It's very important that we continue to speak out in recognition of the fact where America tried to right its historic wrong with emancipation and as we celebrate Juneteenth, and take note of the actions of our Supreme Court and certain Southern legislatures to repeal the Voting Rights Act and gerrymander out minority representation. Those of you who are inclined to either take your vacations or encourage your friends and family to take your vacations in some of those states and help beat that back, keep on electing good Democrats, please do so. All right. Looks like that passed unanimously as well. Thank you all. Whoever has their mic on with the background, could you please mute? Thank you. Next, Paula, you had the Environmental Law Center and their EPA language, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so this is an email that I got literally this afternoon from a woman and a group I've never heard of before, the Southern Environmental Law Center. And they're mostly on the East Coast. But what this, there's proposed legislation that would allow big construction like data centers to begin construction before they get all of their permits, which just strikes me as complete lunacy. I can't see any advantage to that. To all of the rest of us, I can see the advantage to the construction companies because once they get started, then it's a lot harder to get it stopped. So I put the little information that I have so far in the chat. But I would suggest that and they're only looking for organizations. I actually signed it myself, but they'll probably kick that out because local activist is probably not an organization they're going to recognize, and I have no idea how they got my name or my email address, but literally it showed up today. So,
Well, I would second the proposal, that we move on talking about it.
awesome.
I'll take that as a motion and a second to approve having me sign on behalf of the Central Committee. It looks like it's NRDC is managing the sign on, so at least some of the organizations involved have a pre-existing reputation.
Yeah, and it's easy enough. I looked into it. I mean, yeah, you click the link and sign on and affirm that you are authorized to sign on behalf of that organization.
I just want to add that I do think it's that we should sign on for a lot of reasons. If the main one is to slow the whole process, because there is a lot of air pollution connected to the chemicals they use to cool down the centers. So, and they're very toxic. And that's what a lot of the people that live close by suffer from. So, yes, I think we should sign on to this.
And water pollution.
Yep, energy use too. So, and noise pollution. So,
And
yeah.
apparently noise is a big factor.
Mhm.
Right. So
Did you have enough time to do a poll, Amber? I know it was really late this afternoon. Oh, you
and
are
there
so
we go.
lovely.
So
You are just
please vote.
excellent.
And while we're voting, I will just affirm for people: South Africa 1 to nothing, Mexico 1 3 to nothing. So for those of you who are following the World Cup, those are your latest results.
That would not be me.
All right, and that's been approved. So I will push the buttons after the meeting and send that in. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the quick responses on that and taking a stand on our values. Moving on to announcements. Does anyone have any announcements at this time? Jeanette.
I just have a quick announcement, and if your calendar is not busy, on just a couple of days on June 30th from 4:30 to 5:30, I am having a kickoff celebration for my campaign in Magnolia Park. I thought Tuesday was a great day because election day is Tuesday, our city council days are Tuesday, so I just wanted to do it after the end reporting time for June is almost over, primaries are over, and then be ready to start in campaigning in earnest for re-election to Vacaville City Council for District 6. And if anyone can come out, that would be great. It's just, 1 hour in the park, a few things to say, a little bit of snack, and just support for the beginning of the campaign. And a chance to sign up to volunteer if you're there.
Awesome. Bonnie.
Thanks, Amber.
Bonnie, your hand's up.
Yeah, hi. I have to figure out how to unmute now. I had to transition to my phone. First of all, Jeanette, can you send that via email to everyone? That would be helpful. And I'll be there if there are snacks. Just kidding. Okay, so also, I mean, I don't see anybody else's hand up, so I'm going to speak on behalf of the Northern Solano Democratic Club, who has their 4th of July celebration, a true 4th of July celebration for the 250th anniversary of this wonderful country that we live in. There will be no deflecting pool there, so don't worry about that. But it'll be at, I believe it's Arlington Park in Vacaville from, I don't know, like, I don't know the times, but it's sometime in the afternoon. I think it's $15 a ticket. There'll be barbecue, there'll be elected folks. So yeah, I'll leave it up to the Northern Dems to send that out, but just want to give it a shout out. Thanks.
Thank you, Bonnie. Amber.
Okay, sorry, I'm sharing so many screens. Okay, let me look at the screen. I am announcing Supervisor Williams this Sunday is having her annual birthday celebration, but it'll also be an election victory party. And that's going to be this Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Camus Sassoon. And I'll put the information in the chat. Hope to see everyone. And I also was pulling up the NSDC 4th of July. I had it. Where'd it go? It's from 12 to 3 at Arlington Park. So that's just FYI.
All right, thank you. I will take a point of personal privilege and say that signups for the boot camp are open for another 42 minutes. We'll be having sessions both Saturday and Sunday because first everyone scheduled conflicting phone calls on Saturday morning, so we had to change the time. And then when we tried to find the new time, no one could meet at the same time. So 2 sessions. So if you would like a little one-on-one on running for local office, encourage you to be there. Would appreciate it. Go over a lot of stuff and try to help our candidates not make all of the mistakes at the same time. And then I'll also drop in the link for the Northern Dems picnic. As was said, we'd like to see you there. It's going to be entertaining. Jeannie's going to read proclamations and declarations and all that fun stuff. It'll be a fun thing. Bonnie, your hand's up again.
Yes, and I think I did this last time, but I want to give the boot camp a shout out. Even if you aren't going to run for office, but have any kind of inkling or even have any curiosity about it, I would highly recommend it. I think I did it myself. I think I actually even did it twice, and I found it very useful. So I'm just going to give it a shout out. Thanks.
Thank you all. Any other announcements? Not seeing any hands. So I'm going to remind folks a couple of things. One, for those of you who are responsible for any sort of committee filing, the next filing period ends next Tuesday, June 30th, and you must get your report in by July 31st. So you now have a whole month of warning to get it done in a timely manner. And the filing for November offices begins second week of July and ends second week of August. So if you're interested in running for office, the time for you to make that final decision is coming up. And we really need good Democrats to run, especially where we have Republicans in office now. So please consider it, please do it. talk to your friends, neighbors, anyone you know who would be a good elected official. As our Democrats who are elected can tell you, it's a lot of hard work, but it is rewarding. So unless there are any other announcements, I will